Pomona, California, home of the beginning and end of the NHRA season. We're here for the NHRA Finals at Auto Club Raceway. This is actually our first time filming at an NHRA race, and what we want to do for you guys is show you the behind the scenes of what makes the NHRA tick, meet some of the drivers, see some of the behind the scenes of what makes the TV show work, the track crews work, and what it's like to be at an NHRA race at the top level of drag racing. Let's get to it. To start things off this morning, we're getting a tour from Brian Loans, one of the voices of NHRA you've seen on TV. He's going to take us around the broadcast suites and the behind the scenes media that goes on here at NHRA.
I knew Kyle like way before he was cool. Drag Week 2005.
You're right.
He was a kid with a camera that was just awkwardly asking everybody questions, and look at him now. So yeah.
I'm still awkward.
We're going to walk through some of the TV trucks here, just give you guys an idea of how we make our productions each week.
Look at that.
So this truck is, we call this kind of our C unit. It's where we do our like streaming coverage starts here.
Yeah. FaceTime, he's like, hey man, these meters.
This is the Matrix.
The Matrix.
So this room here, occasionally we go to racetracks where we don't have a dedicated booth, and so we actually this becomes our broadcast booth in here. So these,
you've broadcast from
in here. So these monitors will be fired up, and we got all kinds of camera views. Me and Tony working here sometimes with a guest, but this is our kind of mobile studio.
It'd be nice to have this on Drag Week.
This would be have on Drag Week, yeah.
You guys might recognize Brian from Drag Week too. He's announced with Freiburger a few times.
So we're going to the next truck. We call this one the A unit. So this is where the actual production kind of gets made.
Okay, the important stuff. Whoa.
So this is where the sound happens, and that's his problem right there. So he is. I don't even know what happens in here, but this is what makes the noises.
Just start flicking some dials.
Go out to the world. But yeah,
this is a pretty legit recording studio in here.
So this is Melissa.
How's it going?
And,
good.
So this is what we would call like the front and the back bench of the production. So Melissa is legitimately the brains of this whole thing, and so what she does is she's like has a million different responsibilities, but a lot of like timing out the shows and everything that we do. Steve Reinches, who is the kind of the lead, let's call him the executive producer, works in the middle, and then the technical director works over here, and the technical director, Chris, sits here. He's the director. Then the technical director named Gordon sits here, and he
calls all the shots.
Calls a lot of the shots, or kind of executes the maneuvers that Chris wants to see. And he's been at it for, Melissa, how many years?
Oh my gosh, he started as a cameraman in the 90s.
Wow.
And how long have you been at it?
I've been at it since 1996.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So this is a tape room, right?
Wow.
So when we're making our shows, this is where we like all the replays and all the stuff's come from. So we have multiple operators back here, and these guys are cutting together segments, or like again, instant replays getting pulled up, slow-mos getting pulled up, segments getting built that we'll use later in the show. And it's a freaking hustle back here.
I bet.
It's a real hustle back
Very
here.
time sensitive.
There's tons of communication between that room and here about what they're going to pull out, what we need next, what we want to see again, that type of thing. And again, it's just the amount of like technology packed into these trucks is just freaking insane.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, so we're that was two of however many trucks you got.
Yeah, so then this is the graphics truck. So again, you're watching a show, the graphics pop up, or different things pop on the screen. They all get made in here.
Aha.
So again, there are similarities between the two trucks, but Lori and Jen, some of our other people work out of this unit, and when they call it graphics, they're making them on the spot, hit the screen. It's pretty wild. So we kind of cruise back through this way.
Yeah.
This is Lori and Jen.
How's it going?
So this is graphics world, basically.
Yes.
And that machine over there they're not hooked up right now, but they do virtual graphics, like what the 1st and 10 line would be in football. Our virtual graphics are like logos on the
racetrack, yeah.
And a few other things. Like
Gotcha.
We're working on some staging graphics where you're going to be able to see exactly how deep someone stages with these point of view cameras, and so they're working on a package where you're going to be able to see if the guy was 6 inches in or 8 inches in. So that's going to be kind of cool going forward. Yeah.
It's like the overlays used in football and stuff.
Exactly.
It's all virtual.
Yeah. That's pretty
wow.
Awesome. Metaverse. It's the metaverse.
Oh my God! Stop.
You too.
Jeez.
It is the future. Yeah. And then again, more boards, more monitors, and so this is where our broadcast booth is this weekend. So they kind of have
okay, that's where you're gonna be at.
A peep camera in there, so they can see you know, make sure we got our pants on or whatever up there. I'm not sure what they're looking at, but as long as the microphones aren't on, we're usually in good shape. So.
How many cameras are usually running? Because I see cam 55 at the top end of the track.
Yeah, I was trying to think of this the other day. If you add in all the cameras, like the lock-off cameras, the booth camera, and everything, I want to say it's probably close to 12 when we get, especially an event like this where we got championships, so we're going to have multiple remote cameras on the pits following a lot of different stuff, and then we got the down track cameras. Camera 6 is the one that's all the way down at the sand trap, and then the stuff on the starting line. So I'm going to say it's about a dozen when we're really firing on all cylinders.
Wow.
And then the last truck, which really not a ton to see there, it's BSI. So the BSI does like our remote microphones, the remote like in-car cameras and stuff like that. That's what these guys do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The 4th truck.
There's not a ton of stuff to see. Doesn't really have a lot of the sexy stuff going on in there, but again, it's just a lot of sound,
all hardware
and stuff like that. Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of our TV compound, and usually at an event like this, there'll be like about 65 people all in, as far as like if you start with production assistants, camera people, technical people, engineers, graphics people. I mean, tape room, you're looking at about 60 people.
That's a wild program.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Holy cow. And we're going to stop by and quietly watch them work later, just to see what it's like when they're actually running full steam. Well, thank you for the tour.
You bet. Glad you guys got to check it out.
I've been in a broadcast truck before a long time ago, but there weren't 4 of them.
Yeah, and make sure, like you said, come in later on when they're actually working in there, and just kind of run the camera through, and you'll see it's a constant chatter.
Magic happens.
Yeah. Cool, man.
Thanks, Brian.
You bet.
And for when things get dark later, they bring their own lighting to the tracks with them. There's one here, and there's one all the way down the track, and then they have the Jumbotron that folds out of this semi-trailer. Got the boom out here for those shots you see on the starting line. Look at the Jumbotron that comes in its own trailer. Next level. There goes a plane. By the way, I don't know if you can zoom in enough on this, but a plane just went over the scoreboards. Those are a lot shorter than normal scoreboards because a plane hit one once, and so they dropped them down so that it wasn't a obstacle.
So what we got here is a wheel-standing PT Cruiser. Oh, it's got flames. So it's a PT Cruiser, which we all know are kind of lame. This one's got a big blown, I can't tell what it is, big blown motor in the back, and it just did a very easy wheelie just during the burnout. I have no doubt this thing's going to do a wheelie for a while. Wheel stand I've ever seen. He did a 1250 at 105 on the back tires. That's crazy. And it looked like somehow he was steering. I swear, somehow he was steering.
What are we looking at here?
Well, you put it on the ground, push the button, and if it says 1800, it's terrible. And if it says 3600, it's awesome.
All right. I've seen the mechanical versions of that before, but I've never seen...
You mean this kind?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I probably did about 25,000 of those poles.
Oh my God. So what are we at right now today?
I haven't done any yet. We will soon.
All right, keep an eye out for it. You know those the track pullers? Check the stickiness. These are
digital ones?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So what does an NHRA track normally pull?
It depends. The farther you go, the firmer it gets. Behind the line, where the cars are constantly launching, it might pull the rubber off and have pure concrete. It's called a bald spot.
Right.
That up there might, yesterday was actually 22 to 2400. 1 foot over and good rubber was 2900. You go out to 10 feet, and that was 3050. 60 feet was about 3200, 3300, 3400. When you have Promods, Hoosier, greasy rubber, 10 foot, we might be in the heat of summer, 1800, and over here it's 2400. And
Thanks.
they say, why do you got 3 temp guns?
What the heck?
Imagine you go get a temp with your 1 gun with new batteries and it's blank. What do you tell everyone? You don't know?
No way.
That's a hassle. That's a hassle.
When did you learn this trick? When the first time you had to tell somebody I don't know?
After too many times.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for the tour.
Yep.
That's cool.
Anytime, have fun.
Intense track
Whole
analysis.
different level here. This is nuts.
That is intense track. Yeah, it's like an RC car that he drives down the track that'll tell him where the bumps are.
No
Cruise,
way.
and then it's like, oh, that's a bump.
That's awesome.
This guy is like any track, any time
Creates
of
a
day,
map.
he can tell you exactly what's sticky, where it's sticky, all that stuff.
Wow.
This is way more intense than stuff. We've seen
Oh,
some
yeah.
crazy stuff.
Oh, yeah.
This is
That's
crazy.
awesome,
So, this guy's whole job is to do this for John.
Yeah.
That's great.
Let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This guy way down here. We have 6 different guys on the track reading the track. These are guys that are trying to see what the track is pulling for this round for when their car goes up there. I believe anytime that the red lights are not flashing, any crew guys can go up here and test the track. As much data as these guys can get is what they want. So he'll be pulling, he probably pulled from the starting line, he probably pulled 60 foot, now he's at about 100 feet. He's probably gonna keep pulling a little bit down the track just to see where the traction is and where it isn't. Also, he's not only doing distance, but he's doing like in between, in the lane, like from closer to the center line to closer to the wall, anywhere in between. He's trying to see where the traction is at, so he knows where to tell the team to line up the car and all that stuff. So. If only your eyes could burn through video right now. Pretty bad. So we came here to see what NHRA is all about, and we're following the main 4 classes that everyone watches on TV,
Yes.
but there are other classes here that run. Can you explain the other classes and what they consist of?
Yeah, so NHRA National events can have up to 17 classes. So like the US Nationals has like 17. Here we had a ton. So stock eliminator, like classic muscle cars, late model cars, 9-inch wide tire, very restrictive rules on the drivetrain, what you can and can't change, full interior, all that stuff. Go to super stock. Most of the same rules, except you can get a little more creative. You can back half the car, you can run a big slick on the back of it, you can be more creative with the engine modifications that you make. Those cars typically pull nice, awesome wheel stands off of the starting line. Then we have what are called the super category. So you have super gas, which are 990 index cars. Every car on the racetrack is trying to go down the racetrack in 9.9 seconds, getting to the finish line first without going under. You can have a full-body car, a roadster, or an altered in that category, meaning everything has to be left-hand steer. Super Comp is an 890 index class. Same concept, except the cars are a little faster, a little more powerful. They're trying to go 8.9 seconds. Mostly rear-engine dragsters. Every once in a while, a guy sneaks a door car in there. Comp Eliminator is a class that's just wacko. It's wide open. You have dragsters, you have altereds, you have full-bodied cars, you have guys running 4 cylinders, inline 6. You'll see Volkswagen engines in there. All the combinations that you typically don't expect expect to see at an NHRA national event are in that category.
That is a funky one.
Yeah, it's wild. Top Sportsman. These are the quickest sportsman full body cars we have. Basically, think of it as a mini Promod style class. 6, 7, 800 cubic inch nitrous engines, pro-charged engines, blower engines, occasionally turbos. It's a dial in your own class. You can run as quick as 610, but you have to dial handicap style racing.
Okay.
Top Dragster, same concept, except it's dragsters and altereds only. This weekend we had a guy with a 398 inch LS motor with twin turbos on it.
Saw that.
Running bottom half of the sixes. It's a car because
The
everybody
only turbo
else,
car on the property.
Only turbo car on the property. Everybody runs a big block Chevy with a centrifugal on it, and it works and it's fast. But this dude is doing it different, and the car is great with that little tiny engine. And really, that's kind of a run through of our sportsman categories here at the finals. We can add other categories in like Super Street. We can add a bunch of different stuff in there. We had top alcohol funny car and top alcohol dragster here as well. And those guys are pro level operations, but to explain it in a way that you might understand, let's call that the AAA league, right? You got a dragster that can go 5.1 seconds at about 280 miles an hour, and it runs on injected nitromethane. Or you can have a funny car with a blown alcohol engine in it that runs like mid fives at about 250 miles an hour. A lot of people graduate from those classes to the nitro funny car and the top fuel ranks. It's been to have you guys out here. I think it's super cool, and I know that a lot of people that watch 1320 video aren't familiar with NHRA or maybe think NHRA sucks, and I promise you it doesn't suck. It's just a different way to go drag racing, and Kyle and the boys I know are going to do a great job showing everybody kind of the behind the scenes look, so it's killer.
All right, guys, so part of this experience at NHRA is I get to be the guinea pig since I've never been to an NHRA race before. I get to stand between two nitro cars as they launch. Kyle said you get to do this. Not a really good choice. I get to go do it. It's going to be a good time. These cars are freaking rowdy loud. Loudest things you'll ever hear.
So I've been curious how loud these cars actually are. I bought an audio meter to find that out, but when I got it right before this race, I found out that it's a max of 130 decibels. So we're not testing from the starting line. We're going to test from about 1,000 feet down, see which classes max this out. We're doing Pro Stock right now, then we're going to get a funny car. I have a feeling funny car is going to max it out. Here we go.
The final two.
And we are at 111.6 for Pro Stock. Nice. All right, we're almost maxed out. 129.1. That goes to show you just how loud these cars are. That's nuts. 129 decibels standing about, I don't know, a couple hundred feet from the track at 1,000 feet. So 129 decibels in funny car. I wonder if Top Fuel can top that. They're pretty similar engines, pretty much same thing. Who knows? 129.1 the record so far. Side by side. We have a new high score. 129.9 on the meter. That's what we're looking for. I just had to get a little closer to the track. This might be max. I don't know if it goes to 130, but you just have to experience this in person and feel it in your chest to know what this is actually all about. It's nuts. Look at the car alarm going off from the parking lot across the street. I wonder why. You thought the delay in the sound was crazy from the grandstands. Being down here, it's got to be 2 to 2.5 seconds from when you can see them launched when you hear them. It's nuts. Ooh, messy run. Right lane left way late, but still made it across the finish first, looks like. And there goes an airplane. Ron Cap's coming up first round. I'm excited to be down here to see his face when he wins first round. Ron coming out ahead.
watching my family. We got like 80 people that keep showing my wife and everybody. And they did last year. It was fun. It's a group that just goes up in the general grandstands, not reserved seats. And there's about 80 to 100 of them clumped together. And that is my support system. And if we get to win this championship, it is absolutely all of theirs. It's our Napa Auto Care people. It's everybody around me. This is not mine to win.
So Ron Cap's down here on national TV, and they're watching his reactions as the last two pairs go down the track to see what it's going to take to win the championship.
Looks like John Force's car is on fire.
John Force is at the top end of the track on fire. Again, just a little fire. He's no stranger to that.
I tell you, fans, there are so much news that's going to be coming down the pipe over the course of the next couple of weeks. It's a big announcement coming at the PRI show. Light 'em up!
And the fun don't stop. There's something called a Cackle Fest. It's a bunch of vintage cars get together and they just rev it up.
To an NHRA race, one of the things that you're guaranteed to notice right away is the scale of the pits here, especially compared to street car racing where you got 30 racers all piled up in one little small pit. Here, we're standing in the top fuel pits right now, and they go all the way down. The semi-trailers that you see with these racers are just ridiculous. Some of them are even linked together so you can walk through them between crews or just for one car even. And the hospitality pits, like over here in the Napa, look at the hospitality pits in here, just for the crew, their families, media. It is a pretty interesting world. Definitely not a street car race. We're here in front of the Elite Motorsports compound. They have 1, 2, 3 trailers for I think 6 different cars. We're gonna go take a tour of these. We're gonna walk over here, Jake Coughlin's cars right here. We've got Erica Enders next door. We're gonna go see what's going on inside this setup. Woody?
Hey man!
Nice to meet you.
How are you?
Good, good. We're just checking things out here.
Come on.
We're gonna take a tour of the setup.
The Jake's hauler.
Alright.
Let's see.
Wow.
Back here we build transmissions.
Okay.
And all in here we've got all of our transmission gears.
Whoa!
Yeah. We got lots of options here.
The options are limitless.
They're limitless.
Holy, is this for the rear?
This is just a huge math equation. Anybody that says that racing and math don't mix is wrong. I like saying that when little kids come through, it's like, hey, do you like math? No. You like racing? Yeah. Here, this
hilarious.
is real math.
All right, so transmission.
Yep, transmission.
Rear end gears on the right.
Okay. We've got some rear ends, some spare parts. Aaron's championship trophy.
Oh,
from
nice.
Factory stock. That's kind of cool.
Nice. That's not an easy one to get.
No.
Oh, we got a spare engine down here.
Spare engine.
Oh, there's 2.
2 in here. We got.
I want to save the turkey.
Another engine. Okay.
Don't run.
This is a lot tighter than most race trailers we go through.
Yeah, well, it gets wide here.
Yeah.
In here, we basically have our crew chief lounge where everybody's just going through all the data. Obviously, weather's a huge thing. This computer is just devoted to weather that just updates every hour, every minute. Obviously, weather's a big thing. So, typically crew chiefs are looking at this stuff a couple days before getting here,
making some broad assumptions on pieces and parts that we know that we'll use. This thing's typically on for about 2 days before we have to make a decision. So we're able to track trends, true trends in the weather that we're dealing with today, you know.
So one or several people are meteorologists, experts.
Yeah, sometimes
to know what to expect.
Yeah, it seems that way sometimes. But that helps us to kind of be able to go back into our database and say, you know, given these conditions, what are the 10 best runs that we made ET-wise, you know, corrected to sea level. So we'll use that as a starting point. You know, we might have had advancements in engines since then, so you know, we can kind of take that into consideration. But we got a really good group of people that work well together, and no egos, no attitudes. We just have a good time and get it done. So.
And this room is responsible for how many cars?
This room is responsible right now for 5 cars.
Wow. No. You got a couple cars that transport up here?
Go up there. The race team's got to eat too, so that's our fuel, I guess.
Oh yeah. Got a mobile kitchen.
Yeah.
I like that.
A very funny chef.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for your time, man. Come by anytime.
Appreciate the tour.
No problem.
A little different than street car racing, that's for sure. Last pair of cars for the season right now. We got a lot of smoke down there. Everyone flooding onto the track.
Celebrating over here with this team, Steve, 4 championships in a row, another trophy. That is your 51st.
I think this might be only the second race I've been to where they let the fans flood the racetrack. This is cool to watch.
It looked like a black bomb to me because I had the road shield on, but I was able to stay something.
My God, wouldn't you think somebody with a police escort would go more than 8 miles an hour? What the heck are they doing down there?
All right, so In-N-Out is literally catering the banquet for NHRA. Now that is a flex right there. Wrapping up our behind the scenes video at NHRA here in the winner's circle. And as I'm standing here, there's about 30 In-N-Out employees walking past and 3 semi-trucks of In-N-Out trailers ready to prepare food for the banquet tonight. What an interesting experience here in Pomona, California at Auto Club Raceway. I appreciate you guys watching this video. Hope you enjoyed this video and the behind the scenes look at what makes NHRA what it is, the racers, the crews, the safety, the TV aspect of it. Make sure to subscribe for more 1320 videos, and we'll catch you next time.